Welcome back to the Charles Eoghan experience.
Welcome.
How's your weekend?
Yeah, it could have been. Well, actually, the weekend was fine. Yeah, the weekend was fine. The week was pretty bad. I had the shits basically.
Yeah, you had
A couple days of
diarrhea, man.
Yeah, that was good.
But you know, it forced you to recover. You're
Yeah,
actually saying that.
my first couple rest days in so long.
Yeah.
Because of the shits.
So maybe
highly recommend.
We also recommend that that's going forward. Owen, you should take a rest day.
A cholera day.
Yeah, 1 day a week of recovery.
Yeah.
Because it'd been
it's
3 or 4 weeks, no recovery day.
I think it was 5 or 6.
It's too long, man.
Yeah, it's too long.
It's too long.
I missed it.
So anyway, you
feeling
good. You recovered.
Yeah.
All good. You had a
And
good
now
session
we're back.
today. We're
and
back.
we had a good set.
Nice.
170 kilo on the bench.
Yeah, Mark
3
McQueen
sets of
eats
5.
shit, buddy.
Once again. Didn't want to push it today as I just came back, but yeah.
178. That crushed it, man.
Yeah, life.
So you made some interesting flower choices recently. Just give the fans a quick run through what happened.
Apparently, yellow flowers are for friendships and
hard farewells.
And obviously, I didn't look into it that much because just a regular human, yeah, and it was a missus's birthday, so I hadn't bought her flowers yet, and I refused to buy her flowers when it wasn't her birthday. So there we go now. At least it's clearly for only special occasions. And next time I'm going to get some normal fucking red ones.
A hard farewell.
Yeah, a hard farewell or a breakup.
That's so good.
I mean, that just shows what kind of. She said it as well. It shows what kind of people they were back then when you get people flowers to break up. Like nowadays, it's just. Why would you waste money on flowers if you're going to break up with them? That's it. Just,
it's over. Yeah, that's true. Times have changed.
Yeah.
Chivalry's dead.
Yeah, exactly. That's just dumb. You're just wasting money anyway. I guess it's the energy crisis. People don't have money for just flowers on exes.
Goodbye flowers. Man.
Exactly. Yeah, that's pushing it.
Lols. We had a good JIT session just then. We uncovered some key details. You've been watching the Gordon Ryan. Which DVD have you watched, or has it just been watching moves and perfecting certain things?
I watched. I was just watching random moves and watching him spar with what's his name. He also put up a YouTube little clip that was useful. But yeah, generally just.
So just to be clear, some context. We just did passing from half guard, smother passing.
Yeah, just crushing, basically standard half guard passing when you get chest to chest.
Yes.
It should basically be done at that point, and yeah, that's basically what we did, was just passing from there, and then passing with the over back grip, pulling people's head in, and then working from there, which is good against flexible guys who you can't really clear the knee shield, or go around the knee shield, and you don't want to pass with north south. Then it's good to just pull their head in,
and
keep them stuck there, and then work the legs away, and then go back to the chest to chest. And yeah, that seems to be working pretty well. I've been using that for a while, but it's good to see the Gordon deets on it and incorporate
also
that.
Just key detail of just getting the actual fucking chest on someone's face and just crush it. Because I'd always go that detail where I'd go the shoulder too far over. I'd be like, this is really good shoulder pressure, but then somehow I'd get their knee in where it's you're pulling everything down into you. So shrugging and then compressing them into your fucking chest. That's the key detail. It's fucking horrible.
It's just so horrible and painful. I felt like you're just not even in a safe position there for your neck. If someone, imagine Gordon doing that to you as well. He's just.
That'd be awful.
What was he doing? 35 kilo.
35 kg curls.
Curls, yeah.
Yeah, well, you did it to me, and that was a proper dark room in the no gi. Yeah. So it's I'm man, I'm dark room right now.
Yeah, just having a wonderful time.
Just a little bit of daylight.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like my eye was going to go there as well. I kind of get what Osbeck is talking about. When he said he's always complaining that we're crushing his eye when we dark room him, and we were like, well, go on, stop bullshitting. But no, it actually fucks up your eye. If someone puts their shoulder there, that's it. Your eye is a bit fucked.
Yeah, if you get the proper crossface and you just crush them into your chest.
Yeah, that's
crush them into your shoulder.
You're dealt right in their fucking eye. That's good night for a long time.
I think what could be fun is if we do a quick film in the blue room. Maybe when Osbeck comes back, because our friend's going to join us on Sundays. He can film us doing a key detail that you've stolen off someone.
Oh, okay,
and then we can add that to the podcast.
I thought you were going to say we just do a bit of sparring with Osbeck.
No, we could do that anyway.
Give people what they want to see.
Yeah, just smash him. No, I think we'll just do. Yeah, maybe that'll be a fun detail to add on.
Yeah, okay. Anyway. What was you saying about Billy Madison as well? What's that?
Oh, Billy Madison. I can't believe you haven't seen Billy Madison. That movie is your humour, man.
I haven't seen it.
I can't believe it. Have you seen Happy Gilmore?
Is that the golfing one?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen the golfing one.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was alright. I can't remember really, but yeah.
Have you seen
Big
Daddy?
You mean Big Mama?
No, Big Daddy, where Adam Sandler he takes the kid, custody over this like 5-year-old kid, not 5-year-old, like 10-year-old kid, and he has to like basically like bring him up and parent him to a certain degree.
I can't remember.
He realizes that he's just a fucking bum throughout this movie, and he kind of cleans his act up.
I may have seen it. I can't remember. I've seen a lot of.
You need to watch Billy Madison. It's fucking hilarious.
I'll watch that. I'll take your word for it and try it out. We've got nothing better to do. We'll try.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as good as Big Mama though.
I had a question this week, and it was jiu-jitsu for smaller guys.
Yeah.
People who, like shorter, people who have like smaller frames for jiu-jitsu. What's like your kind of, I guess the question was quite vague, but it's like jiu-jitsu for smaller people who have smaller frames, smaller arms, smaller legs. What to do? Yeah. What kind of game would you suggest for those guys?
I would say leg locks and sort of inside position games.
Yeah.
So, for example, like avoid baramboloing or close guard, and I'd prefer like butterfly. Basically, just emulate people with smaller legs, like Marcelo and like you could also do a lot more like flying attacks and stuff like that. I guess it's easier to get inside like people's shields and wedges and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, that sort of thing, rather than, for example, I wouldn't try and run around someone and pass the north-south if I'm really short. It's less likely to work. Whereas if you're really long, you just have a much easier time. You have more percentage success like running around people.
Right.
Than if you're shorter.
Because your limbs are longer, you're just going to catch them at the end of the stick easier.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're just less likely to get caught up in frames and stuff. Whereas, yeah, if you're short, like even if you're doing it well, I feel like just the percentage of time it's going to work is going to be lower because of that. So yeah, like obviously just emulate people that are short and good and try and copy what they're doing. I would say I'm relatively long, so.
Each to know your game, yeah.
Yeah, exactly,
like
yeah.
Marcelo Garcia, Wilson Paul Harris.
Yeah. Like Rafael Mendez as well, I'd say he's pretty short, but obviously also you're sparring people in your weight division for the most part, so it shouldn't matter that much. But I guess if you're going to lean towards someone, you go to someone that's like relatively short, and most of your rounds will be done in the gym against like a wide variety of opponents. So yeah, you want to emulate people that are your body type, and that's inside position games rather than outside position games. So legs and hands always on the inside, and then you tend to do better. Also, it's easier to win leg lock like. I don't know. It's easier to win inside position in leg locks if you have shorter legs, and it's easier to like escape your knee because you literally have shorter legs.
Literally, that's
just less legs.
It's just the mechanic, less leg to grab.
It's just straight up mass centimeters.
Yeah. Whereas like people with longer legs are easier to leg lock. Obviously. More.
Yeah, maybe not easier to leg lock because they have more leverage, so they can turn. I guess they can turn their knee a bit easier and they can build height easier, but it's harder for them to clear their knee.
Yeah.
But they can hide for longer, I would say.
For someone who's like relatively new to leg locks, where would you suggest they start? Let's say they're at an academy and the academy is not necessarily teaching leg locks, and they want to be like, okay, I need to learn some leg locks.
I would go on Eddie Cummings' Instructional on flow grappling.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it basically. That's all you need to know about leg locks. Go on Eddie Cummings' Instructional on flow grappling and get Jason Rao's Patreon. That's my plugs. Yeah, Jason Rao Patreon and Eddie Cummings Instructional on flow grappling. You got to scroll to like page 5 or 10 or something, and it's there. Okay. But it basically goes through like all very solid mechanics for heel hooks. Some of it might be outdated, but for the most part, the bones of it is like perfect. I don't think I've been outside heel hooked since I've watched that.
Really?
Yeah, legit, and that was like. And I watched it twice, to be fair. In fact, I've watched it 3 times. Once when I first started leg lock, when it first came out, and then again later on, and I kind of disregarded it. And then the last time I watched it, I followed it to the letter, and it was fucking effective, basically. Okay. So I'd recommend that, Eddie Cummings.
Same principles we've been talking about last couple of podcasts. Get a friend, drill it together. Go drill it with some noobs, hit it with some noobs, and then keep practicing.
Or like teach it to someone as well. Teaching it to someone makes you remember it easier, and you're more strict with it then.
Get a super friend. Teach it with a super friend.
A super friend, yeah. That's a stupid friend.
No, super friend.
Yeah, of course,
so go get a buddy, teach it together.
Yeah, and then like teach it to him. But then if it's someone who's on your level, like you teaching it to him is not really going to work. You've got to teach it to someone who's less good, or I guess Yeah, you can teach it to anyone, but if you want to just drill it, try and drill it in such a way that you're acting as the teacher, so you don't just revert back to doing your normal shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of going about it.
I guess I was talking to some people about ways of measuring your training intensity in the weights room.
Yeah.
And I've been watching a lot of Renaissance periodization. Shout out to Dr. Mike. Right, you would love Dr. Mike. He's this fucking massive juiced up Russian dude, bald head.
Okay, I appreciate that.
He's awesome.
His name's actually Mike.
Yeah, Dr. Mike.
Yeah, fair play.
Mike Israel.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, he's awesome. Let's talk about measuring your training intensity. We're going to talk about rate of perceived exertion and reps in reserve. So when you're training, the easiest way to measure something, when we're talking about like the work effort that you're putting in, is through these two measures, either rate of perceived exertion or reps in reserve. Reps in reserves refers to how many more reps could you have done. Yeah. Which is, for beginners, not the best measure because you just don't know. Yeah, you're like, could I have done 5? Could I have done 10? No, that's a sharp stop.
Apples.
And then you stop very quickly. Whereas when you get to more, the later stages of intermediate and advanced stages, it becomes a lot more useful. Reps in reserve. Yeah. You always want to work. Ideally, we want to work within like 5. Let's say between 3, anywhere between like 5 and 2 reps in reserve. That's going to be like our bread and butter of gains.
Is that based on a set amount of rest?
Say again?
Is that based on a set amount of rest?
That's based on a set amount of intensity. So it's like, we're doing like, let's say we're doing bench press and we're like, okay, I feel like I could have done like, no, actually I take that back, not 5. Let's say I could have done 3 more there. That's probably going to be a 7 on a rate of perceived exertion. So it's like 70% of your work intensity.
Okay, cool.
Do you know what I mean? Ideally, we want to stay within, not 5, between 3 and 0 reps in reserve when we're training.
Depending how many reps in the set.
Depending on how many reps in the set, yeah. And we'll get to reps in a second. We'll talk about rep ranges, etc. in a second. But it's like, to get the most out of your gains, anywhere between 3 and 0 for reps in reserve, that's your ideal sweet spot. Now, like we said, the dichotomy in that area is how many more reps could I have possibly done? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. If you're relatively new to training, it's like, oh fuck, like I could have felt like I could have done 5 more there or whatever. Yeah. Rate of perceived exertion is on a scale of 1 to 10 effort. Yeah. So it's like 1 being very easy, 10 being like I could not have done another rep there. Yeah. Ideally for gains, we want to be working within that, again, 7 to 10 ratio. So we can't always be burning the candle at 10. Like say, for example, on our bench today, every last rep there on our 3 sets of 5 was like, fuck, that's a hard stop. That's a hard stop.
178.
Yeah, 178 kgs. So that 5th rep is a fucking absolute hard stop. Yeah. So next week we're not going to try and attack that again because that was a 10 reps in reserve. Okay, yeah. So it's like let's bring that back to a lighter. Let's bring that back to a lighter weight and do another set at that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. So introducing a little bit more volume, but the overall workload will be like a 7.5 to an 8.5 rate of perceived exertion, as opposed to a hard 10. Does that make sense?
Why is that better as well?
Why is that better? Because we just get we're going to produce more work over time. If we keep stopping at hard 10s, you're not going to get anywhere because next week it'll just be like that was another hard fucking 10 of rate of perceived exertion. Like it's going to be fucking, it's going to beat you up way too much over time. The risk of injury is huge because it's like you're working absolutely maximally. If we do like 7 to 8.5 RPE, there's a time and place for 10s. Yeah. But for the bulk of the programming,
not bi-weekly sort of thing.
Not all the time. Yeah. If we can kind of tail the 9s and the 10s to like weeks, if we're doing like 8-week blocks or whatever towards the tail end of the program, that's great.
Cool. I get you. Okay.
But we need to build up enough stimulus throughout the program so we're not absolutely destroying you and fatiguing you so much, so that next week when we come to do bench, we can get some more volume in. Get a bit more stimulus that we can adapt to, and then when we try and do the
more gradual
exactly, that's what we want.
So you're not too fucked, basically.
We want the gradual gains, so that way we can get the volume in. If we keep working at RPE 10s or 0 reps in reserves, you're not going to be able to get the volume in. This is going to be a hard stop.
Finito.
Yeah, and it's super taxing to your nervous system.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I get you then.
Does that make sense?
Just for basically just being able to do more over time.
Yeah, more work.
Yeah.
And I guess if we're gonna we can talk about reps and sets as well. So like for strength, to be optimal for strength training, ideally we want like 3 to 6 reps, but also we can talk within like 5 to 10 reps for strength.
Yeah.
What's interesting, I've been training some people this week who have had like some pretty nice, especially jits guys, to get like a lot of weird injuries.
Yeah.
Not fun, like shoulder injuries or hip injuries or back injuries. Actually working within high reps of like, let's say 15 to 30, is like, that's super beneficial. Because it's like, you're gonna use a light enough weight where it's not gonna hurt you, but you can work and you can get enough volume and enough stimulus so you're getting a massive pump.
Yeah.
So that way we're still building muscle.
You get right to the limit without actually risking injuring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like Brad Schoenfeld released that study, or is a part of that study, where it's like anywhere between 5 to 30 reps at 35% to 85% of your like 1 rep max.
Yeah.
That same kind of like RPE scale that we're talking about before is beneficial for muscle growth. So it's like you could be doing 30 reps, and let's say like the last 5 reps of that 30 was like, fuck man, I'm feeling like super pumped.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You're gonna get some gains from that.
But you shouldn't do more than 30 reps basically of exercises.
No, like doing more than 30 is like, come on man, like just do a heavier weight. So it's gonna be more challenging for 30. Do you know what I mean?
Is there no benefit, like for just pure, I guess that's just mental endurance at that point, isn't it?
Yeah, like at certain points it's gonna be like, fuck, like I'm just burning fucking everywhere, not necessarily hitting the exact muscle connection of the area.
Running doesn't necessarily make your legs bigger, sort of thing.
No, because it doesn't progressively overload you over time. Like running, like what are you gonna do? Run with a weight vest, but it's like that's actually just bad for your knees. You're just adding load to it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool then. All right.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, so like if you do have,
so it's just basically it's not the same as just doing as even though you're doing, let's say, like moving the same weight over time, it's not the same as doing it in a shorter amount of reps or a smaller amount of reps.
So doing let's say doing 5 to 10 reps of something, you're gonna to make it challenging to work within that 7.5 to 9 RPE. The weight's gonna have to be challenging, right? So it's gonna be heavier weight, so you're actually gonna get stronger doing that. Yeah, you will build muscle, but if you're going to do like between 10 and 20 reps of something, the weight won't be as heavy, but you can actually, like pros and cons to this to this rep scheme, you may be able to build more muscle because you get much more of a pump, maybe have a better mind-muscle connection to the muscle during a higher rep, so you're getting way more volume into the muscles.
I get you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
5 to 10 is not a lot of volume. You'll still get awesome gains and get super strong. 10 to 20, you're going to get strong, but not as strong as you would have in that 3 to 6. But it's not as much. It's more volume than 3 to 6. More volume, more muscle, more stimulus. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay.
Then 20 to 30, it's gonna, to get to 30 reps of something, the weight's gonna have to be relatively light. You're not gonna do 175 or whatever you were doing on the bench earlier.
It kind of links into that question that guy asked you, isn't it?
Right.
About can you get stronger without putting on weight?
Exactly. Yeah, you can. And then like there's if you look at like female weightlifters, or not even female, if you look at some of the Olympic weightlifters who like in the, let's say below 77 kg category, even 80 kg category, and they're like lifting triple body weight. It's just, it's a matter of like intensity. So it's like as intensity climbs, if you decrease the volume of that, the stimulus isn't going to be high enough to necessarily get a shit ton of muscle growth. So you're going to get super swole. But the intensity is high enough with good technique, smashing your nervous system. So you're going to get neural gains, technique gains, and of course you're going to have some muscle there, but you're not going to get ridiculously swole.
So that's your calories. Neural gains.
Neural gains is huge.
Neural gains, that's like, where it's at.
Neural gains doesn't count for a lot.
That's really what you want for jits then.
Neural gains.
Yeah.
It depends. It depends. Like if you want to get super swollen, super jacked to move into a weight class, or alternatively, if you're like working within like the 66 kg category and you want to keep your nutrition on point, then it's like your lifting is going to look a little bit different. You're going to maybe be doing a lot more strength stuff, some body weight movements to get super strong, strengthen up your tendons and ligaments, and not necessarily be looking to stack on muscle. So you can manipulate the way you do things in the gym through sets, reps, time under tension, body weight movements. There's many ways to do it, but traditionally it'll just be intensity goes up, volume comes down. For the reverse, to build muscle, it's like let's increase the volume and like monitor the intensity. So intensity will usually go down, volume will increase.
So would you say people with more muscle are more able to do longer stretches of like time under tension or like more reps or whatever than people who have less muscle?
Yeah, so the more muscle you have, generally speaking, the more weight you should be able to lift. So it's like if you like if you have a shit ton of muscle, like you should be like you'll be super strong, unless you have like a bodybuilder versus like an Olympic weightlifter. First of all, bodybuilders won't usually have trained as long enough in those Olympic lifts, so they won't be able to compare like relative to weight. So yes, they'll still be super strong. Will they be as strong as a professional Olympic weightlifter? No, because they haven't practiced as much.
Yeah, not the neural gains.
Yeah, and also like all that absolute muscle mass it's going to restrict your mobility.
Yeah.
Like to those juicy bodybuilders. So there's a fine line.
Juicy.
There's a fine line.
Juicy.
Is that
like a berry? Yeah.
Yeah. Like a berry.
Like a berry, like Galvao.
Like Galvao.
Yeah.
How do you think Galvao's going to do against Gordon Ryan?
I think he's going to lose to Gordon.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was actually watching Gordon and Vagner the other day. I didn't think it was as one-sided as it was made out to be. Like, obviously it was totally one-sided, and like maybe Gordon could have finished him whenever he wanted. But I don't know, I feel like Vagner was doing a good job defending all the positions, and I don't think he was more exhausted than Gordon.
Yeah.
Because Gordon was on his back for the most part of it, and like, and Vagner was forcing Gordon to work just to hold him there and like, just to make it exciting. And Vagner was fine just chilling like this with his arms above his head, like basically not moving and just exhausted and like bridging on him. Yeah. Like it's fucking tiring attacking someone's back and not finishing them.
Tiring his grips out too.
Yeah, it's tiring the grips and like I guess like your legs as well, keeping a body triangle and having to like turn your legs left and right to keep people off the floor.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, they're just like pushing their feet into the ground and bridging their shoulders to the floor with their hands above their head. Yes. And like just pushing your hands away. It's fucking exhausting for the person who's actually attacking the back for the most part. So yeah, I don't know. I was just watching that thinking that Vagner didn't necessarily do that badly, but then Gordon finished him like pretty decisively with the triangle that he said he would. So maybe he just wasn't trying the whole time. So yeah.
He kind of has that move where he's trying to tire people out or trying to hunt submissions.
Yeah, but he looked more like, he said that he wasn't tired, and that obviously he was saying that he let him escape and just to give something to the fans. But like maybe I'm a fool, but it didn't look like he'd let him escape. It looked like Vagner did like a pretty good job of like pressuring the escape via tiring certain like muscles out of Gordon's and then forcing an escape to standing. Then Gordon had to like concede position and tip him back over and all this kind of stuff. So Gordon versus Galvao, like I don't know. I mean, I think he'll win definitely, but I don't think it'll be. If he can take him down, I think he'll fucking bully him. But if he can't, I don't think it will be that easy.
What are the rules of the super fight?
I think it's just normal ADCC rules, but there's extra periods of overtime and there's no guard pull at all.
Yes.
Like if you guard pull, you're going to get a -1. Yeah. So, and it's like 40 minutes total time. I think it's 10 minutes no points, 10 minutes points, and then overtime of 20 minutes.
Yes.
Or 2 10-minute overtimes. So yeah, fucking long.
Good stand-up, man. No.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it seems good. Yeah.
He's just like a little stocky.
Yeah,
man.
he's stocky. Yeah, like obviously, he'd probably smoke me, so I can't really say shit. But like, I don't know, if you compare it to like people who do wrestling for a living, it's hard to say that they have good stand-up like that. I mean, if you put him in with like an actual wrestler, it would be very one-sided. Put it that way. Yeah.
Who was that heavyweight dude that won the Olympics? Gabe Stevenson. Was it Gabe Stevenson?
Yeah.
That guy's a savage, man.
Yeah. He
Gabe
was a
Stevenson
big man.
does.
Like a bear.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it just wouldn't be. Oh, you see that guy, Jason Nolf, sparring with the B team, and he's just like.
Who's Jason Nolf?
Jason Nolf is some American wrestler, and he just picked Nicky Ryan up and just like spins him in the air,
really,
like a child. And it's like, well, like Nicky Ryan's not really a child now. He's a big man now, and he's getting lifted and spun in the air like it's WWE. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Really?
Instagram for everyone to see.
Damn.
So yeah, Jason North.
Jason North?
North, Nolf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Picking up Nicky Ryan.
Yeah, and just like having his way with Craig, power bottom.
Smashing him. How heavy is Jason North?
He doesn't look heavier than Craig. He's just a very good wrestler. He looks very conditioned and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Drinks milk in the shower.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but he does. So yeah, he's strong.
Those wrestlers are beasts, man.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a different, they're pros.
Have you trained with many US wrestlers before?
No, I haven't trained with any. I've only trained with
your guy.
Yeah, my guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, haven't trained with any American wrestlers at all, really.
Would you ever do a trip to America? Like, obviously, apart from the trip you're going to do for ADCC, would you ever do like a camp or anything?
Yeah, I would just go there for fun, just training for fun. I would probably go to maybe New York, maybe B team, maybe try and train with Gordon after ADCC.
Yeah.
I don't know how they are with visitors though, because obviously everyone's like, oh, go train with Gordon. They're probably sick and tired of it.
Yeah.
And or just go there for wrestling. But again, they don't really want just like random people showing up to their wrestling gym. Like realistically, I'm going to be worse than like the average 18-year-old at wrestling, 16-year-old even. 15-year-old. So so for me to turn, exactly, they'll put me in the kids class. Yeah. Like imagine you go to Russia, like, can I wrestle with you guys? Yeah, they'll be like, okay. They'll put you with the 4-year-olds and just embarrass you. So I imagine it won't be any different in the USA. But yeah, I would like to go there, do some jits and try to do some wrestling. I just want to avoid gyms where it's like all like beefy, like
juice heads.
Yeah, not juice heads, just like aggression and shit, like competing with you when you're gonna go there to train. Like I don't care that much. Let's just have like normal rounds. Like you don't have to try and win the round because I'm visiting, and I don't have to try and prove myself because I'm visiting. There's just.
Have you had some of that beef in London before?
Well, yeah. Every single time there's a new person, they'll try and do it. That's fine though. Like okay, like once, fine. But especially if it's people from abroad. They tend to come over and it's like the first round's like, okay, here we go, like it's a competition now, and like I'm just like, well, it's not really a competition, it's just one round, and hopefully we can do many more. And like I have other rounds today, so I'm not gonna go crazy on this particular round. I don't care that much. Yeah. We'll take it easy.
That's a bit of a pet peeve for you.
It's not a pet peeve. Yeah. I don't mind that much. It's just funny. Yeah, it's just all right then. I'm not gonna rise to it at all, basically. Yeah. Yeah.
So you'd go to New York. Where would you train in New York?
I'd probably train with Jason Rao again. That was good training there. They got Jason Rao. They got Matt Serra. I think he's got a new club called Vanguard or something. Okay. Jason Rao, Nick Ronan. They also have this guy called Mike who's pretty good. They have another guy who I can't remember who's pretty good. And then they got this guy Fabian he's a lighter guy but he's very good as well. He's on WNO and he was on the last one too and he's had some good matches.
Oh, cool.
I like training with him. Yeah. I actually did a podcast with him as well, 4 Stringers. Cool. That was good fun in his car.
We'll get a link to that.
Yeah, we can link that.
Yeah, definitely link that. And B team, you train at B team as well?
Yeah, I would train at B team, but that's like different. That's not really New York. That's
no, of course, that's LA. No, that's Texas.
Texas, yeah.
Texas.
Yeah, Texas. Yeah, I would go there. That'd be good fun.
That'd be fun.
Get smashed by Nicky Rod.
Beast Nicky Rod on Jason North.
Jason North, yeah. I don't think he's like training there, but he goes there to like teach them and that sort of stuff. Alhamdulillah. Alright, cool. Alright, what was the next one?
You had a question earlier. Why and how? Why 88 and decide? Oh, okay. Why 88 kgs and how to decide?
How to decide to go up or down, how to cut or to cut for your weight.
Okay.
Basically, so for me, I was already pretty lean at 81 or whatever I was walking around at, and even cutting to 77, I was just fucked. I felt like a crackhead. I was just, there's another crackhead story for the gram. That was me basically being underweight.
Hair withering away.
Yeah, exactly. Hair withering away, like my body withering away, and then turning up to the competition. Also, it's same day weigh-in, so you can't just like rehydrate. Even though I tried my best, you just couldn't rehydrate and get energy in time.
Yeah.
So I would just say also, if you can put on weight very easily, may as well just keep putting on weight because you're less likely to get injured the heavier you are.
Yeah.
And you can just crush people more in the gym and practice more what you're trying rather than just defending against people that are bigger than you.
Yes.
As long as you don't fall into the trap of just like being a spaz and just crushing people with your weight without using technique.
Bad habits.
Yeah, but so I guess you could do that from just being really fast or just any of your physical attributes. But yeah, I would say if you can put on weight easily, you should go up a weight class just regardless.
Yeah.
Or you can put on weight, like if you're, let's say, middle of the weight class, you can put on weight till you're past your weight class and then cut down and go for it.
Very slightly past the weight class.
Yeah, and then cut down where it's easy enough. And then if you can't put on weight easily, then you can do your cut, basically.
Yeah. Because you're going to lose weight easily.
Or for example, me, I'm right in the middle. I can't put on weight that easily. Well, I guess I could for a bit, but now I can't so easily.
Yes.
So yeah, unless you get juicy, I guess. Yeah, if you want to get juicy as well, go ahead and get juicy. That's that's probably the easiest way, surely.
If you get juicy, you'll be like 99 kg.
Yeah, that would be disgusting. Just so bloated all the time. It'd be so funny.
So I guess like you would say people who cut for their weight classes, who take massive cuts, same day weigh-ins, that's not ideal.
Yeah, not for me anyway. But yeah, not for me. It also depends how on it you are on recovery, like, or how much time you have. So for example, ADCC trials, they don't really give you enough time. It's not like you can go and get an IV in between, but if you were really keen and it was a big competition, you could cut all the way down, then get some like IV to get water and hydration or whatever replaced, and then you feel fine.
Get the electrolytes in.
Yeah, but for me, I wasn't gonna do that, and like, yeah.
What did you weigh in for the ADCC trials for 88 kgs? 85?
No, I was 83.9 or something like
light.
that.
Yeah.
I was light, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw some people were in the sauna the night before, like, cutting, sweating away whilst I was just like trying to eat, pizza or something. And just relax.
Winning all 5 matches.
Cut the cans. Yeah.
Was it leg locks?
It was leg locks. It wasn't all heel hooks. One of them was a leg lace and the other one was, the rest of them were heel hooks.
Beautiful.
Yeah, huge. Huge.
Should be walking to this competition cusping the 88 kgs now.
Yeah, I'll just be tapping that 88 kg. To be fair, even after the shits, I was like 86.5, so I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Shut out half my body.
Can't shit out muscle, man.
Yeah. I bet you could, though.
Can't shit out muscle.
If you push hard enough,
you can get it
anything will go.
Are you excited for ADCC?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be good fun.
Yeah.
I think. Also, it's like a nice test, isn't it? Like.
Big time.
Yeah, I haven't fought many people from abroad, and or at least recently. I mean, I fought John Blank, and that was a good test. That went well. So hopefully, he's just continue in that vein. And I'm also like super curious to see who they give me in their weight class, and like it'd be nice basically to just feel what the highest level people in the world feel like, and judging myself compared to that, so I know where I'm at. Yeah. It's all well and good doing one match with someone, and then you can't really judge yourself on the world scale or whatever, because time, what's it called, styles make matches or whatever they say. So you can't just base your whole like world ranking on that. No. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Unless you clean out the division, win the whole division.
Yeah, that's the easy way to rank yourself. If you just beat everyone in ADCC, that's it. You're basically number one in the weight. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
That is very definitive.
So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, 100%. And also, it's like a lot of prep and just like super intense training all the time. And also eating all the time.
Yeah.
It would be nice to just not have to do that. But equally, straight after ADCC, I've got a match with Jacob Couch.
That's exciting.
And then after that, I might have a match on Polaris with a man who cannot be named.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah. Okay, Jacob Cash, that's exciting.
Yeah, that's exciting. That'll be a good match. I'll be watching him versus J-Rod as well.
When they fighting?
They're fighting tonight. Yeah, but it's going to be too late, so I'm not going to stay up and watch that.
Are you going to stay up and watch the whole thing? It starts at like 12:30. Just watch it tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'll watch it tomorrow morning. That's what I'm saying. I can't be fucked.
We're talking about people who haven't, when this podcast comes out, Gordon Ryan, Felipe Pena.
Yeah.
What are your predictions? Why, how, when?
It's a bit of a sticky one, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I know Gordon is the favourite, obviously, and all this, but Pena just seems very relaxed. I don't know if that's just his... Maybe just been smoking too much, but...
he does seem like a very relaxed guy.
He seems very relaxed, yeah, like Samuel Jackson relaxed, or Morgan Freeman relaxed. That like total just like indifference.
A big kahuna burger.
Not Samuel Jackson, sorry, Morgan Freeman. He's way more like relaxed. That sort of like, he's just unfazed.
Felipe Pena, like Morgan Freeman,
like a young Morgan, like an old Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, just super chill.
Yeah.
So how do you think the match will play down? What's your prediction?
So there'll be a stand-up. I think the match will be not won or lost, but because I still think Gordon will win regardless of where it goes. But the stand-up for me is the most uncertain thing. Like, Like we haven't seen. To be fair, the last matches that Gordon's done, he's basically taken everyone down from standing, or he's just pulled guard and then swept them. But for the most part, he just like people just let him collar tie them because they're not willing to actually hand fight with him, and they just collar tie. He just collar ties them until their head comes down, and then he hits them with like foot sweeps, and it's all extremely low risk. Like he's not shooting. I haven't seen him shoot for a single or a double leg the whole time, and he's managed to take all these people down. So yeah, I imagine it'll be more of that. But I think Felipe is like taller than him, and he's probably longer than him as well. So for him to just collar tie Felipe down to the floor, I don't think that's necessarily going to be as effective this time. But that said, I'm not John Danaher, he's probably come up with some like super good strategy for it. So yeah, I'll give it to Gordon, but I think that it'll be won or lost in the stand-up.
All shall be revealed tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited. Biggest match of all time.
It actually is.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And he'll fight again in ADCC, no doubt.
Yeah, hopefully. If Felipe makes it to the finals with Gordon. Yeah.
Who else could do well in that division, do you think?
I don't know enough people in the division. If we got the list up, I could tell you, but it's going to be Gordon, realistically.
Yeah, it's going to be Gordon by someone.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be Gordon. Yeah, maybe Pena, maybe someone else. I think his division's pretty
stacked.
Yeah, pretty hard division, so can't just like bank on anyone. But I would actually be interesting to see Felipe Pena win as well, because Gordon's just been smoking everyone.
That's huge, man. Then he wins the trilogy. That's like his kryptonite guy to fight.
It's not like I want him to win, but it's just for a change, It's getting, like Gordon said, it's getting boring up there. Let someone else win.
Have you run into any other crackheads recently? Because people love the crackhead stories that you had last week.
Nah, I was thinking someone asked me about the crackhead, like more crackhead stories, but all I can think about is just the crackheads in America, really. Like we don't have proper crackheads. Like America has real crackheads. America has
crazy crackheads.
Like they call them God bless yous, which is so funny. God bless you. Yeah, because that's all they ever say is God bless you, sir. Yeah, God bless you, sir. And when we went there, they were fucking big as well. They were like 7 foot tall.
That's
crackheads.
An exaggeration.
No, like
7. That's an exaggeration.
There was at least one that was 7 foot tall who would and he was by the Dunkin' Donuts nearest our flat, and he would open the door for us like just like an unpaid chaperone for the door, and that's almost pressure, isn't it?
It's like kill us.
Yeah, exactly. Like every time you go in and out, you sort of up the ante. Like, am I gonna not pay him again? He's opened the door for me like 5 fucking times. Just fuck off, I can do it myself.
Am I not gonna pay him again?
Exactly. Yeah.
You're taking a risk.
Yeah, you are exactly. Like, what if he just switches? You see his one eye twitching. Like,
he's gonna flip out at some point.
He had one eye as well, just nothing to lose.
No way.
He had one eye. Yeah.
Nothing to lose.
Yeah, nothing to lose. Exactly. 10-20 vision. I guess just 20-0 vision.
20-0 vision.
Yeah. Sorry, 1.5 eyes would be 10-20 vision. Yeah, like, so we have budget crackheads, and their crackheads probably have like full-on machetes and like.
Oh man.
I mean, our crackheads probably have knives as well. Don't get me wrong, but they're more like jokey than the ones in America. You're sort of looking at them like, do I laugh or do I just
this guy's gonna flip out of this second.
Just run. Just run. I do have a story. So yeah, in America, I don't know necessarily if he was on crack, but he was running down the street with like shitloads of trousers on his back. This is actually about 2 crackheads, and he was running like away from someone like as fast as he could. Obviously, we didn't see who he was running from. I guess he won that race, and he drops one of the trousers, and some other crackhead like sees he drops the trousers, he goes, "Hey, you dropped your pants!" and like chases after him with the pants. And I don't think he realised like these are stolen trousers. You don't need to do good because you're not actually doing any good, buddy. So yeah, great.
What a scene unfolding in front of you.
Yeah. Probably got it from one of those like thrift stores. They're pretty common in New York and pretty good actually.
Love.
Good steals there. Yeah, that's my crackhead story till I remember some more.
That is funny, man. All right, man.
I enjoyed that.
I feel like we can wrap it up there.
Yeah.
We've covered some good topics today.
That'll do, yeah.
Some gains.
We can do a recurring theme on crackheads actually. I'm keen.
You love it, man.
Like a little bonus section on crackheads.
You should follow Owen O'Flanagan on Instagram.
Yeah.
He always we'll post entertaining stuff during the week.
Also, fuck TFL. We're going to talk about that as well.
TFL.
Fuck TFL.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that next week. Yeah, I know.
This week there's some tube strikes coming up.
Are there as well?
Yeah, of course there are.
Sorry.
Tuesday.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I won't be going to. I'll be going to Roger Gracie's then.
Sweet. I'll see you then.
I'll see you. Fucking cunts. It's shit service anyway, and they're striking. Doesn't make a difference, I guess. Great to see you.
Guys,
great to see you guys.
Enjoy the podcast. Subscribe. Get on the YouTube. Follow us both on Instagram for more outstanding content.
Buy my instructional.
Yeah, get his instructional. This is, if you want to get good at leg locks, you should plunge yourself.
Yeah, Leglocks, the UK variant. I make money off of it.
Do you rate that instructional that you did?
The instructional, I rate it. There's a couple, I'll be honest, there's a couple moves that I do differently, but I wouldn't be improving if I wasn't doing things differently yet. But if you get the instructional and send me a message that you bought it, I'll point you in the right direction for the moves that I've changed.
But there you go, you've got direct access
and
to
that's my disclaimer in case moves don't work.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed.
Great
To see you.